Boa noite, pessoal. Meu nome é Simone Ferreira, eu sou orientadora, coordenadora do escritório do EducationUSA na PUC Rio de Janeiro. É um prazer estar aqui com vocês. Agora eu vou passar para inglês e apresentar um pouquinho aqui para vocês dos nossos hosts, dos nossos presenters. Então vamos lá. Let me switch to English. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Simone Ferreira. I'm head of the Education SA office at PUC Rio de Janeiro, where I'm based. And I have the pleasure to introduce you to the presenters from the Northeastern University. We have Dean Snyder. Dean is the director of the admissions of the, sorry, there is one more person here, of the MBA programs. And also we have Josias Ayoroba. Not sure if I said your name correctly,
That's
please.
perfect, Simone. Yeah.
Okay. And he's the Senior Assistant Director of Enrollment at Northeastern University. So it's a pleasure to welcome you tonight to this presentation. The presentation, we are going to later post this presentation on our YouTube channel. So everyone also have the opportunity to watch again or watch for the first time. But again, thank you so much for your participation. Dina and Josias, thank you so much. I'm going to mute my mic and I'll be here. And also, I would like to tell everyone, if you have questions, please send those questions. At the end of the presentation, you have time to talk, to interact, and make all your questions. But you can send your questions here to the chat, or at the end, you can turn on your mic and speak by yourselves. But I'm here to help anyone. So if you want to send your questions also in Portuguese, there's no problem. I can translate. Or if you want to send them in English, you are also more than welcome. So with no further ado, the floor is yours. So I'm going to mute my mic now.
Ok. Muito obrigado, Simone. Eu vou tentar falar um pouco de português antes de a Gina fazer a apresentação. Meu nome é Josias, eu sou originalmente do Paraguai, estou morando no México e eu sou diretor da Northeastern para a Latinoamérica. Então, quando vocês iniciarem o processo com o Northeastern, tomara que sim, eu vou ser o ponto de contato de vocês. Então, eu gostaria de parabenizar a todos vocês por estarem aqui, porque já é uma demonstração que vocês estão interessados, que vocês querem se superar, fazer um programa de pós-graduação, não é para qualquer, e mesmo assim também fazer um programa fora do Brasil. Então, a gente está aqui para responder as perguntas de vocês. A Dina, que é a diretora de admissões do DMSB, que é a nossa escola de negócios, vai apresentar os nossos programas, o AI MBA, que é muito bacana porque ele é um programa STEM, então ele tem 3 anos de permisso de trabalho nos Estados Unidos também, então é um plus grande. Então, eu vou deixar de falar. I'm going to introduce Dina now. So, thank you so much, Dina, for being with us. And again, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to help. And I'll be happy to walk you through the application process if you make up your mind. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joseas, and thank you, Simone. It's a pleasure to join you all this evening. I was in Rio for my second time this past May, so that was where we had the chance to meet in person. And as pleased as I am to see your faces on camera, I would have loved to be in Rio tonight in your beautiful country. I love visiting Brazil and getting to talk with the people of Brazil. And I always have such a pleasant time. But a bit about myself, I'm here on our Boston campus. Northeastern does have several campuses across the globe. Boston is our main campus. And tonight I'm going to be talking to you about our AI MBA program. I want to mention that we do have a variety of specialized master's programs as well as different options for MBA programs. So if any of the other programs interest you aside from the MBA, we'd love to connect you either with Joseas or myself, and we can set up a one-on-one conversation. But without further ado, I believe you can see my screen, so I think we're going to get started. As I let you know, my name is Dina Snyder, and really happy that you're here.
Sorry to interrupt, Dina. We cannot see your screen yet.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Sure.
Let's try it again. Can you see it now?
Nope.
It's telling me that I can't. I'm gonna stop the share and try again.
Yes, now we can.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Here we go again. So you were joining this session tonight because you are ready for what's next. Whether that's accelerating your career, whether it's building a stronger professional foundation or expanding your earning potential, or simply becoming a more future-ready leader. And you're right to be doing this now. We know that technology, and especially AI, is transforming how organizations operate and how leaders make decisions. Our 1-year STEM MBA is designed and was built for this exact moment. It is a fast, focused program, and it is designed for people who want to level up their skills without putting their lives on pause or their career on pause for many years. So before we get into the details of the program itself, I'd love to tell you a little bit about the community you'd be stepping into when you join Northeastern. One of the biggest advantages of choosing Northeastern University is the scale and diversity of the community around you. You're joining a top-tier research university with global reach, but your experience will still feel personal. Our classes are small, faculty are very accessible, and you're surrounded by peers who bring perspectives from all over the world. We have students from 181 countries represented within our university. And that type of community and that type of diversity isn't just interesting. It strengthens how you think, how you collaborate, and how you lead. You will have the opportunity to hear different viewpoints, challenge assumptions, and build a network that expands outside of the program. Our alumni network at Northeastern is a huge asset. Graduates stay closely connected and genuinely enjoying supporting students, whether that's through a networking event, by offering career advice, or opening doors for new opportunities. This community at Northeastern will stay part of your life for the duration. When we talk about the DeMoore McKim School of Business at Northeastern, we're talking about a business school that was built for where the future is headed. First, we have a century-long history of academic excellence, and our faculty bring real industry experience into the classroom. They make sure what you're learning stays relevant in a fast-changing market. Second, our very, very deep employer partnerships shape what and how we teach, which means that companies are consistently telling us that Northeastern graduates stand out and differentiate themselves because they know how to think critically, they know how to use data effectively, adapt quickly, and approach challenges in a creative fashion. Third, Northeastern is the leader in experiential learning. We don't just talk about business, you are practicing it. Through consulting projects, corporate collaborations, and research practicums and global experience, you will graduate with real accomplishments and real confidence. And finally, our strength in AI-enabled leadership is a major differentiator. Northeastern is at the forefront of exploring responsible AI and AI-human collaboration. And we are not just teaching tools, we are teaching strategy, judgment, and the ability to lead in a world where AI is everywhere. And I feel like a day doesn't go by where we're not all being exposed to another AI tool or another way that AI is making an impact. This combination of top faculty, of strong industry ties, and hands-on learning, along with cutting-edge AI expertise, makes DeMoore McKim one of the best places to prepare for the future of business. At DeMoore McKim, we offer a full suite of graduate business programs. As I mentioned at the beginning of the talk, MBAs, specialized master's degrees, and shorter graduate certificates because professionals have all different needs and different timelines. Every program is built on the same foundation of rigorous academics, real-world application, and strong integration of analytics and technology. But today we're going to focus specifically on the AI MBA Of course, that's why you're here, which is our one-year immersive tech-forward program designed for people who want to deepen their expertise quickly and step into a high-impact role with confidence. As we walk through the program, I want you to think about what you want out of an MBA. What are your goals? What is your timeline? And what kind of work do you want to be doing after graduation? The right program should match your ambition and help you move forward and achieve your goals faster. If you're looking and ready to lead in a business world being transformed rapidly by technology change, this program offers a powerful, future-focused path. The AI MBA builds and blends on core business foundations with advanced analytics, AI fluency, and human-centered leadership skills, where you will learn to make smarter, data-driven decisions, all while learning with clarity, empathy, and strategic insight. This culminates in an MBA with a major in business analytics. This program is accelerated. It's a one-year MBA, so it really does tend to attract students who are ambitious, learners who want to build depth quickly, and graduate with a cutting-edge toolkit. It is an immersive program. It is a fast-paced program. It's intentionally designed for professionals who plan to lead at the intersection of business and intelligent technology. And in classic Northeastern fashion, it is rooted in hands-on learning. So you won't just study AI and how it's transforming business, but you will practice it. So why learn AI and tech leadership here at Northeastern? Many answers. I'd like to start by talking about how Northeastern is deeply committed to becoming a global leader in AI-human collaboration. We are backing that commitment with major investments. Across the university, groundbreaking work is underway in AI and machine learning, robotics, data science, and human-centered technology and interaction. Equally important is Northeastern is shaping the national conversation around the responsible use of AI. We're helping build frameworks, policies, and best practices for ethical innovation, which means that your education is not only technically stronger, but grounded in real values. You'll have access to an ecosystem of institutes, labs, research groups, and more devoted to intelligent technology and its impact. And at DeMoor McKim, our AI strategic hub ensures that AI thinking shows up throughout the curriculum, not just in one or two classes. You aren't not going to be watching AI from the sidelines. You're going to be preparing to lead it. One major differentiator of the AI MBA program is that it is STEM designated. This signals that the program builds deeper analytical and technical skills than a traditional MBA. These are skills in quantitative decision-making, AI, emerging technologies, and more. And for roles in product management, technology, consulting, or strategy, or operations leadership, this combination is incredibly valuable. And for international students, this designation offers an additional advantage, which is that you may be eligible to apply for up to 3 years of optical practical training, OPT, here in the US, which gives you valuable time to build meaningful work experience and launch your career in the US market, if that is your desire. Now let's talk about how the program is structured. So studying full-time, you can complete the AI MBA in 12 to 16 months, depending on which summer path fits your goals. You can finish your coursework in the summer in the fastest route, which would be 12 months, or extend your program by one term for more flexibility. So with the 16-month option in the curriculum, you would spread your remaining classes out over the summer and fall term and could take advantage of some more experiential opportunities. You'll start by building a strong foundation in finance, strategy, leadership, operations, and analytics, and then you will customize about a third of your curriculum with electives focused on AI, data, and tech leadership. And because experiential learning is woven through the program, you will continually apply what you learn, which means that you will have the opportunity to participate in consulting projects, in a practicum, travel-intensive electives, and many other hands-on opportunities. The end result is that this MBA will make you fluent not just in AI, but in leading people, making decisions, and navigating change in an AI-powered business world. Experiential learning is really at the heart of the AI MBA, and truly all of our programs here at Northeastern. Experiential learning is how you turn knowledge into capability. Every opportunity you'll see here is designed for a world where intelligent technologies are reshaping strategy, operations, and leadership. So whether you want to strengthen your analytical depth, whether you're looking to build consulting experience or global business, or immerse yourself in public policy decision-making, you will find an option that aligns with your goals. These experiences aren't just add-ons. They're at the core of the curriculum, helping you graduate with the confidence, technical fluency, and practical judgment that you need to lead in an AI-powered world. And we're going to now take a look at a few of the most impactful pathways. If you're drawn to analytics, machine learning, or digital transformation, the AI Strategic Hub Research Practicum can be one of the most valuable parts of the MBA. In this elective, you'll partner directly with faculty and industry teams to address real analytical challenges using tools such as Python, SQL, Jupyter Notebook, data visualization platforms, and machine learning libraries. This is hands-on, it's technical, it's immediately relevant to the roles of shaping the future of business. And what makes this so powerful for AI MBA students is that it blends strategic thinking with genuine technical applications. So you're not learning concepts in a vacuum, you're solving problems companies are actively wrestling with right now. And it's a standout way to demonstrate both analytical strength and AI-driven leadership when you're having a conversation directly with employers. If you're another option is the Community Impact Initiative, which is a meaningful way to apply all of the skills you've learned over the summer. Because the AI MBA is accelerated, this becomes a really key opportunity to build consulting experience for those who are looking to extend the program up to 16 months. So you would work remotely for a nonprofit, a social enterprise, or mission-driven organization on a project related to or tied to technology, operations, analytics, or strategy. A recent partner, for example, was an AI startup that some students are actually working on that right now. You'll spend up to 9 hours a week building or helping with an organization advance their high-impact initiatives. This is an unpaid opportunity, but it is incredibly valuable in terms of the impact and the value. You will sharpen your client interaction and management skills. You'll learn how to scope and solve complex problems and come away with real consulting work that can add some competitive advantage to your resume. Most importantly, this will help you practice human-centered leadership using AI-informed thinking to support organizations doing meaningful work. If you're really eager to see how business is done across global markets, the Global Field Study can be one of your most memorable experiences. This elective pairs short targeted travel, usually it's over spring break, with deep cultural and business immersion. You'll visit companies across industries, meet leaders from global and multinational organizations, study regional market dynamics, and complete a team project tied directly to your destination. Past trips have included countries throughout Asia, Europe, Latin America, and the US, and the destinations do change every year to reflect global trends. So we'll all be excited to see where the students go next year. For AI MBA students, this experience is incredibly valuable because AI adoption looks different across cultures and economies. So understanding global perspectives will make you more adaptable, more strategic, in a more strategic leader in an interconnected world. The Washington, D.C. residency is another great opportunity. It is a 1-week intensive deep dive into the intersection of business, public policy, and society, an area that is becoming more relevant as AI expands into really every sector. You'll hear from policymakers, analysts, lobbyists, and leaders who operate at the center of national decision-making. You will have the chance to explore how regulation shapes innovation, how ethics guides strategy, and how public and private sector leaders collaborate on issues like AI governance, privacy, and responsible tech deployment. We're only one of 17 business schools that offer this kind of academic credit for this experience in Washington, D.C. And you will also complete a team project examining how public policy impacts business outcomes. So for students in the AI MBA program, this is a really smart choice. As AI evolves, leaders who understand regulation, policy, and the complexity of stakeholders will have a major competitive edge. I want to share a student story that really illustrates something that we care deeply about here, which is how experiential learning compounds when you take advantage of more than one opportunity. This student in particular participated in 2 experiences that AI MBA students can pursue: the global travel-based experiential course and a consulting-focused real-world project. Individually, each experience was valuable, but together they reinforced one another in a really powerful way. Through his global travel elective, Lane had the chance to develop cultural awareness. He learned how organizations operate in different markets and became more comfortable navigating ambiguity. And then through his consulting style work, that perspective was really put into action. He was breaking down complex problems, working with diverse stakeholders, and delivering recommendations that resonated with a real client. When it came time for Lane to interview, he didn't just say he was interested in consulting. He could prove that he was ready. He could point to global exposure, applied problem solving, and teamwork under pressure, and their real outcomes. That combination helped him stand out and able to articulate a clear, compelling professional story. This is really an example of exactly how experience-powered learning works at DeMoor McKim. The goal isn't just to check a box with one experiential course. It's about layering experiences intentionally so that each one deepens the next, building confidence, clarity, and credibility along the way. And that's how students graduate not just with an MBA, but with a narrative employers believe and skills to back it up. Career support at Northeastern is a genuine differentiator, and once you're enrolled, the Graduate Career Center becomes your most important partner in the program. This team doesn't just take a one-size-fits-all approach. They work with you individually to understand your goals, challenge your assumptions, and help you map out a plan that aligns with the future that you want. So whether you are aiming for a higher impact role, a promotion, you're looking to transition to a more tech forward path, or simply you're looking to develop more confidence in your career, my colleagues in the Career Center are there to help you. You'll have access to targeted coaching, resume support, interviewing practice, personalized networking strategies. They'll help you sharpen both your immediate job search materials and your long-term vision so that you leave the program with clarity and with momentum to accomplish your goals. And I want to make sure that I emphasize that the career support doesn't just end at graduation. Students and alumni can remain connected to the Graduate Career Center at Northeastern and the global network of more than 4,000 corporate partners for the entire time you're an alum. So meaning that for the rest of your career, you'll have a team behind you as your career evolves, no matter where in the world you go next. One of the best ways to understand the impact of our career support is to hear from students who've experienced it firsthand. And here on the screen, you'll see my friend Holland. Holland Stram was an MBA graduate and has spoken about how transformational their partnership was with the Career Center. She described how the Graduate Career Center helped her clarify her direction, strengthen her confidence, and navigate opportunities she hadn't even considered before she started the program. And what stands out quite a bit in her story is just how supported she felt. She shared that she wasn't alone in her job search or her decision making. She had advisors who asked the right questions of her, who challenged her to think bigger, and helped her to build the professional presence she needs to step into a more strategic role. Her experience reflects that really what so many students feel, which is when you pursue your MBA here at Northeastern, you're not just gaining an education, but a career team committed to helping you move forward towards the future you want. Next, we're going to pivot a little bit to talk about what you would need to complete your AI MBA application. We keep this process really straightforward. Every component is designed for us to get to know you and to help you understand you, your goals, your experience, and your readiness for the program. You will start with a personal statement and a short essay, which is your moment to share your story in your own voice. So my best advice is really don't overthink it. Just be clear, be authentic. That's what we value the most. You will submit 2 letters of recommendations from people who have known you well, who can speak to your character and your potential. We will need transcripts from all of the universities you've attended that are translated into English, as well as an English proficiency test if you did your undergrad in a non-English speaking country. So for example, if you did your undergrad in Brazil, we would request either the TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. We are test optional, which means that submitting the GMAT or GRE is your choice. So that is completely up to you. And everything that you need is outlined clearly on our website. And if you have questions that come up, either Joseas or myself are always here to be a resource. As you are preparing for your application, the most important thing that I can tell you, my best advice is really to be yourself. We're not looking for a polished version of who you think we want. We want to get a sense of the real you, who will be showing up in the classroom. With that said, there are some things that we are hoping to see in the application. So we, of course, are hoping to see evidence of academic strength, especially in this test optional environment. We're looking to your transcript to include quantitative readiness. You can show that through your coursework, your professional experience, or through the GMAT or GRE if you so choose. For applicants who have work experience, we'd love to see your career progression and the impact that you've had at work. And for those who are earlier in their career, maybe you're a recent graduate, we'd like to see signs of your potential. We care deeply about what you'll bring to our community. So maybe you've worked cross-culturally, build expertise in a certain functional area. Maybe you've pursued a passion project or had a unique life experience. These are all experiences that you can share with us on the admissions committee. Your essay is a great way to understand not just your goals, but also the perspective and how you'll contribute to the learning environment. Ultimately, we are assessing your potential as a leader. This includes how you think, how you communicate, and how you see your future unfolding. I'm gonna rephrase a little bit what is on the screen here, because now that we're kind of far into summer, your next opportunity to apply, I should say, the MBA program begins each year in the fall semester. We offer rolling admission. So once our new application opens in September, anytime between September and May, you can submit your application in order to start in the following fall. Applying earlier, I always say, is better. It can be beneficial. The sooner that you submit your application, the sooner you will receive your decision, and the sooner you can begin planning the next steps of your future. And I know I just said this a slide ago, but I really just want to emphasize how much myself, Joseas, and our whole team is here to support you through the entire process. If you have questions about your materials, about the timeline, our admissions team is always here and just a message away. So we'll love to share our contact information and look forward to staying in touch. We know that thinking about finances can feel overwhelming. We know that an MBA is a significant investment of your time, your energy, but also your finances. And we want to make this process as transparent and supportive as possible. So the good news is that there are multiple ways to fund your graduate education. We offer many different scholarships with different criteria, different amounts, and different terms. All students will automatically be considered for a merit-based scholarship when they submit their application. We also do offer various payment plans. This is interest-free, semester-based loans that lets you pay monthly installments for a small fee, making this a very cost-effective option. There's also on-campus employment. So every year, offices across the university, including my own, offer work positions for students who are on campus. And if you're on an F1 or J1 visa, you can work up to 20 hours a week while you're studying. So no matter what your situation is, we want you to feel confident. We want you to feel informed. And the great news is that there's no separate scholarship application or scholarship essay. As soon as the admissions committee reviews your application, we are going to review you for a scholarship at that time. So if you are admitted, we would tell you when you were admitted that you received a scholarship and the amount of the scholarship award. That was a lot of information. I sure hope that was helpful and that you found it helpful. I appreciate you considering Northeastern, taking some time to talk to us tonight. Our AI MBA program is embedded with experience-powered learning. It will enrich your skills, expand your network, and prepare you to lead with impact. And now I think you've heard me talk enough, and it's time for your questions. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'd love to answer any questions you have. If you have questions for myself, for Joseas, you can ask in English and Portuguese about anything from the program, life in Boston, the application process, anything.
I have a question here.
Sure.
And it's about I was wondering if do applicants need a technical or programming background to apply to the AI MBA?
Yep. That's a great question. So there's no prerequisite background, there's no prerequisite courses. As this is a fast-paced, rigorous program, we're looking for students who, from one of the following. So maybe you have any type of STEM background, or at least some sufficient coursework with numbers, whether you've taken, even if it wasn't a major, we want to see basically that you're going to be able to handle a rigorous quantitative curriculum. So if you've done anything in STEM or the sciences, if you have classes in anything like business, accounting, finance, economics, math, statistics, kind of any of those areas could be helpful. So we're not going through a checklist saying, do they have this class? But we are looking for students who are technically and kind of academically proficient, just because it's such a complex and rigorous program. Joseas, you're muted. I see there's a question in the chat, and maybe that's
I
great.
was just mentioning that Andres is raising his hand, so we'll let him ask a question, and then we have a question in the chat in Portuguese. I'm happy to translate for you.
Okay.
Andres?
Okay, thanks, Dana, for the space. As Venezuelan, I saw your university before because one of the founders of the most relevant startups in Venezuela is in Sabarce and studied there. And I saw many activities that you made related to it with emerging markets. Could you tell me more about it firsthand, about how those centers apply, and if an MBA student could also participate there, or only bachelor students could be present there?
You're asking about the Center for Emerging Markets? Is that your question? Yep. So the center, you've done a lot of research. So we do have the Center for Emerging Markets within the DeMoore McKim School of Business. And yes, that would absolutely be something that you could participate in. And as an MBA student, you heard me in the presentation talk about all of the experiential learning. You heard me emphasize experiential learning. There are so many opportunities. I could do a whole day long presentation about, just going through all of them, but we have the Center for Emerging Markets. That's something you can participate in. If you are interested in entrepreneurship, we have a venture accelerator on campus. It's called IDEA. If you are interested in finance, it's called the 360 Huntington Fund. It's an opportunity for students to invest $1 million of Northeastern's endowment. So there's really so many ways for you to get involved. And really I hope what has kind of come through in this presentation is that we are trying to give our students so many opportunities to apply what they've learned in the classroom. So the students aren't just sitting there reading their books, but they're really using the skills in many different ways even before they graduate. That was a great question.
Thanks.
And Gabriela in the chat is asking a few questions. So one of
Sure.
them is about the level of English required for the program. And what can she do to secure a teacher assistant position or any employment opportunities while she's studying? If there are any English courses that we offer in the beginning of the course. And what does a promise and application look like for like a assistantship or any other position?
Okay. Those are all good questions, a bunch of questions. So I'll go through one by one, and Jose, you can let me know if I'm forgetting.
Of course.
So the program is taught in English. Northeastern, actually, of all of the schools in the United States, we have the second largest international population. So Northeastern is over 40% international, which means that when I walk across campus, I hear so many different languages spoken. Actually, I was talking before you guys came on the presentation that Boston has one of the largest Brazilian populations in the US. So I always hear Portuguese and have a lot of Portuguese. There's a lot of Portuguese being spoken as well. But as the program is conducted exclusively in English, we are looking for strong English proficiency. So the way that you would show that to us would be with the TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. With the TOEFL, we suggest students shoot for 100. We can be a little bit flexible, but 100 is really what we look for ideally. Again, that's not hard and fast, but that if you're practicing your TOEFL, I would say put that as your goal. 7 on the IELTS. We don't offer English classes as part of the program. I know that there are sometimes students who will do different English proficiency courses prior to starting the program, but there's not during orientation, there's not anything like a built-in English portion. Jose, is there anything that you would add, or do you think that I covered that?
No, I think it's covered quite well. We also accept the Duolingo test in this
Yes.
particular college, so it's another option that we have. We don't make promotion for any exam in particular, but it is an easier exam. I mean, easier in the sense that the results are quite fast, it's more affordable, so you can look into that as well.
Yeah, and really this is, we're not trying to be punitive or to trick anyone, but we want to ensure that whether it's with your English skills or with your quantitative skills, we want to admit students and enroll students who are going to be successful. This program is, most MBA programs are 2 years. This is an accelerated 1-year program, which there's many benefits to that. And because it's fast paced, we're really looking for talented students who are going to be able to kind of keep up. In terms of work opportunities, I know that was one of the questions that you mentioned. So at the beginning of each semester, students can apply for positions through the Student Employment Office. So while we don't have an official graduate assistantship program, offices on campus hire student workers. So actually on my team, I have usually about 10 or so. I usually hire 8 to 10 students every semester who are in DeMoore McKim. So MBA students, master's students to help on my team, and all of the other offices on campus do as well. And so the way this works is once you arrive on campus at the beginning of the semester, you can apply for those programs. In terms of a strong application, I'll really give 2 pieces of advice, and one of them I emphasized in the presentation. But one is be authentic, be yourself. You're not looking to win a literature prize. You don't need to quote Shakespeare in your essay. We just want to see who you are. And believe me, when we're reading 1,000 applications a week, we want to get to know the real you, whoever that is. Another piece of advice, actually, I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice. A second piece of advice is to be specific. So you are all, I want to congratulate you. You're spending your evening sitting here with me learning about Northeastern. So you all have a leg up on everyone else who's going to apply because you have gotten some firsthand information about the program. You've really taken the time to do some research. So in your essay, be as specific as possible. So maybe when you're done with this presentation, jot down a few notes. Was there anything that stood out? So that when you're writing your essay, you can say, I heard from Dina Snyder in July, and this part of the program made me really excited. Or to just be as specific as possible, because there are, in the United States, but in Boston specifically, we have, back up, Boston has more schools and colleges than any other, I think, city in the world, but definitely the US. So within Northeastern's, within 8 miles, there's about 50 colleges and universities. So Boston is America's college town. So sometimes I'll read an essay and they'll say, I want to come to Northeastern because I want to come to Boston, or I want to come to Boston and I like the program because it's in Boston. And I'll say, that's great. There's 30 other MBA programs. There's so many programs here. So that's not showing me that you did any research and that that's specific. So talk about experiential learning, talk about Northeastern's focus on AI. There's a lot that you can be specific. And lastly, and this, a question that I get a lot is, your test optional, should I take the GMAT or should I not take the GMAT? Truly, it's optional. So this is really up to you. What we're looking for when the admissions committee reviews applications is we're looking at your transcript to say, will this student be successful? And what we're looking for is success in areas in, like I mentioned, either STEM or quantitative coursework. So if your transcript, say you were a theater major or you were a philosophy major or a literature major, you've never used a calculator, you've never done anything with numbers, I'm going to look at your transcript and I'm not going to have the assurance that you can take a fast-paced coding or finance class. So that would be one area where if that's you and you're like, that's me, that resonates with me, taking the GMAT or GRE or doing well can show us, okay, he can do this math, he can do this analysis. Second, sometimes I'll talk to students and maybe they were a finance or a business major or whatever the case. And a lot of times students will say, I was really immature during college, or I had a family issue going on, or this was during COVID and I really struggled. And my transcript doesn't reflect who I am. Sometimes they'll say, like, I have a kind of a poor GPA, but I really have the potential. Again, I need something to kind of prove that to me. So in that case, the GMAT or the GRE also can really help us see, okay, maybe they've matured since then, but based on the GMAT, I can really be confident that they can do this work. If you feel like your transcript is a great representation of you, you're really proud of your grades, and you feel that you have taken the type of coursework that I mentioned, then maybe the GMAT or GRE is not worth your time. So that I feel like you want to feel like you submit your application, putting your best foot forward, and that the admissions committee is not going to have any questions. Think if it's better for you to kind of provide the information than for us to start kind of wondering or asking questions. Does that make sense? Okay, I see some heads nodding. All great questions. Who wants to go next? While we're waiting, I'm going to put my email in the box so that you all have this, and you're welcome to save my application, save my email. And maybe Jose, you could include your email as well. And one thing that I do want to share is that the application fee will be waived. So you can submit your application free of charge. You do not need to pay a fee.
This was a great presentation, Dina. Thank you so much. You were very, how can I say, you explain everything so well in details. And I see that Andres is shaking his head, but I think he has one more question, right, Andres?
Yeah, one quick
Great.
question, because my cell phone has a bug. Could you tell me your email, Dana?
Yeah, so I just put
put
my email in the box. Do you see it above? It says
No,
Dina Stein.
my Zoom has a bug. So please, could you repeat it?
Sure. My email, I'm going to spell it out. D like David, E like
Okay.
Emily, dot. My last name is Snyder. S like Sam, N like Nancy, Y like yellow, D like David, E like Emily, R like Robert at northeastern.edu. And for whatever reason, if you end up losing my email in a month, Simone and I are in touch, so she could pass it along. And we're going to get your information as well and love to stay in touch. And I said this before, but I want to congratulate you. This is the first step towards pursuing your graduate business degree. I think that's really impressive. There's a lot of places that you could be tonight, and you're choosing to be here, really investing in yourself. I really hope this is the beginning of our getting to know each other. If you go onto our website, and we'll stay in touch, we're having a lot of other opportunities to connect. So right before we were talking about this, Jose was sharing, one of our colleagues on the team will be traveling to several locations in Brazil this fall. I myself offer several different webinars all the time. You can go onto our website and you can see actually we have weekly, all types of different events if you want to learn about other programs. We've all included our email address, so if you want to have a one-on-one conversation, we would be happy to reach out. I was sharing at the end, my whole family knows I love traveling to Brazil. It's like my favorite country. And I would love to welcome you to Boston as well. So maybe we don't have you have to pack a winter coat because we do have some intense winters, but it is really a great place to come and be a student, and I would love to welcome you to my home city.
I guess I have a question too, Dina. For international students, can they still apply for September this year, or will the next opportunity only be September next year?
So the thing that's a little bit tricky, and Jose, is I don't know if you have any different information than me, but if you require an I-20, a visa, at this point, I think it would be a little bit too late. If you have a special, if you think you could submit your application tomorrow, literally like in the next 36 hours, and that's what you want to do to start in the fall, send an email to myself and Jose, both of us, tonight, and we can check with our colleagues if there's a chance that we could accept application, but it would really mean getting your application in immediately just because of the visa process. So as quick as the admissions committee can review applications, it can take a while for you to get your appointment once you have your I-20, and we just want to make sure that you all have enough time. So my best advice is if you're not looking to start this fall, 2026, and you're thinking about fall 2027, the earlier the better. So the sooner you submit your application, the sooner you're going to get your decision, the sooner you're going to have your scholarship information, the sooner you're going to be able to apply for your I-20, start finding an apartment, and kind of getting everything going. So I hope that clarifies.
Great presentation, great questions. Thank you again so much.
Thanks to all of you, and thank you to Simone.
To having you again in not just in Brazil, but in South America.
Yes.
And I want to also share here the information that we will be hosting the EducationUSA LLM Fair in South America. The tour will visit 12 cities in South America. We will release soon information about the LLM and MBA Fair. So thank you so much. Have a good week, have a good night, and have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for the space.
Thank you so much, Simone. Looking forward to connecting with all of you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.